The first time I met Justin Bieber.
That's gonna be my next question.
He had like a curious face. Like he was looking at the check and he was looking at me, and I think he was gonna like introduce himself, but I think I came off and he goes, hey, you wanna talk to Justin Bieber? When you hear, hey, who wants to wipe Justin Bieber's ass? He goes, that's when you could talk to Justin Bieber.
Ruslan.
Guys, before we get into that conversation, I just want to take a moment and introduce myself. My name is Ruslan. This channel exists to encourage, empower, and inspire you to live a life that blesses God. So if this is your first time watching me, thank you so much. I'm super grateful you're here. If you enjoy what you're hearing, do me a favor, consider liking the video and subscribing. That really means the world to me. We're on the verge of reaching 800,000 subscribers, and I would love to celebrate that with you. And I want to let you guys know we got my very first book ever with a major publishing called Godly Ambition coming out September 9th. It would mean the world to me if you pre-order this on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your favorite retailer. This is 20 years of my wisdom through building a YouTube page, through being a full-time hip-hop artist from 2015 to 2020, being on staff at a church and ministry, everything I've ever learned in one book to help you unlock the potential of your time, talent, and treasure, help you discover your purpose, your calling, all that stuff. Comes out September 9th. But if you pre-order it right now, you will get the first 3 chapters and the intro chapter immediately. So you can pick it up at your favorite retailer and then go to My Godly Ambition to redeem the first couple chapters in the book, along with an ambition workshop to help you discover what your calling is. All right, let's jump into this conversation with Janko.
The first time I met Justin Bieber.
That's gonna be my next question.
The first time I met Justin Bieber was at the My World tour when I had the check. So I'm walking my happy ass to the car with the check. And this little kid pulls up in a Segway. And I'm like, and I'm about to be like, oh my God, Justin Bieber, I love you so much. Like, you know, and then I was like, wait a second, bro, his show starts in 5 minutes. This is somebody who's going to get the crowd excited. It's not Justin Bieber. So I'm literally this close to him. And I go, you're not Justin Bieber, bro. And I walked and my dad's opening the truck and we're putting the check in the car. And I turn back and I see my mom sitting there talking to the kid on the Segway. And I'm like, Mom, come on. It's not Justin Bieber. Let's go. It's not Justin Bieber. I know Justin Bieber. I listen to his music videos every day. It's not Justin Bieber. And my mom goes, no, it's Justin Bieber. And she's sitting here talking to him. Bro,
because he's young at the time too.
Oh, he was a baby.
Yeah.
Literally, he was the My World tour. He was a baby. And we're on our way home. And like the news is like, Justin Bieber is causing mayhem, riding a scooter in the parking lot. I was like, and my mom's like, see, George, you weren't patient. You should have sat there. And dude, like, it was a great day for me. But also I thought in my brain, I'm like, God gave me an opportunity and I just ruined it. Like he was supposed to sign me. I was supposed to be like, he was supposed to be my usher. Like, dude, like, bro. I think it was like a few months later, he dropped a movie and I watched it in the movie. My mom and dad, like they laugh about this to this day. I cried in that movie. Because in my brain, I was like, that was my one chance. Like it's over for me.
Bro, that's so good. So,
it's so funny.
So was he just chilling, or was he coming to say congratulations because he saw you
I
at
didn't
a
even know
check?
who I was.
No, I'm saying like he won this thing. You got this massive check.
He was just a 16-year-old kid.
He was just chilling.
But I'll never forget, bro. It plays in my head over and over again. He looked at me and he had like a curious face. Like he was looking at the check and he was looking at me. And I think he was going to like introduce himself, but I think I came off stupid. And he was just like, nah, I'm not going to talk to this kid. But he had time to talk to my mom. Like he talked to my mom for like a good minute.
Where were you when he was talking to your mom?
I was shoving the check in the car, yelling at her to come. Because like I was like, that's not him. And she's like, no, this is him. And she's sitting there talking to him. And I was like, Mom, that's not him. And then
so have you met him since this?
So okay. This is really fun. I love this. Okay, so I've never had the opportunity to sit down and fully have a conversation with him because my whole life, this is the reason why Justin Bieber means a lot to me.
Okay.
Because the first time I ever watched Justin Bieber, everybody was freaking out about this kid. I saw him on an interview, but it was like, I think it was a Christian like talk show. And his mom asked all of us to pray for him. And so me and my family gathered and prayed for him. And I just remember being like, man, I can't wait to meet him because I know he's going to always have a relationship with Jesus because what his mom did and how everybody prayed for him. And so that taught me to be very vocal about my faith.
Come on.
Because that taught me if I'm vocal about my faith, then other homes will pray for me.
That's good.
So that I've always wanted a moment to thank him for that because that changed my life completely. Fast forward, which is like, it's kind of funny. I went from this school, it was Pinnacle, to Horizon High School. Horizon High School was a more entertaining high school. I walked in senior year and I was like trying to audition for the chorus. And I'll never forget, bro. this bougie place was like, no, you have to audition for us next year or last year. And I was like, I was in a different school. I wasn't going to audition. And she looked me in my eyes and she said, which one do you want to replace here? Which student do you want to replace? And then all the students were looking at me like this. And my mom and dad sat me down that day and they were like, listen, you just got kicked out of that school. Don't go piss these kids off. So put your head down, shut up, leave school. You're only doing half days anyways. So like, don't do anything. I kept my mouth shut. Then they had a talent show. And that teacher got on the mic. She goes, my students are going to be performing. So I was a little bitter that they didn't let me audition. So I was like, I'm going to enter and just wipe everybody out of that competition. I won it. And everybody at that school like loved me, bro. And it was like the coolest moment. It was the first time ever in my life where I had friends in school.
Wow.
Like, it was so, and people are coming up to me like, Janko, I didn't know you had it like that. You're making music, and they appreciated that I wanted to be an artist. The other school was a very rich school and like kind of known for being snotty. So they didn't like you chasing your dreams or like trying to do things. So I went over here. It was the first time in my life where I was like, oh, if you're not appreciated, it's because you're not in the right place. And so that school gave me a lot of confidence. And I made a lot of good friends there. Till this day, I actually bumped into a kid on a plane that I went to that school with. So Horizon was a cool place.
Why did you get kicked out of the other school?
It wasn't like a kick out. They weren't like, yo, you should leave. So I was performing Mr. Pinnacle. And I have this on video too. And I can't wait to release this. They were throwing shoes at me, bro, when I was performing.
They did not like you.
Oh, they hated me, bro. Yeah. But you know why they hated me? Because I knew they hated me, so I pressed. So like if so-and-so made fun of me, I would not let up. I would just annoy him. So I was kind of like, if I'm going to be like annoying, I'm going to like just go all the way. I was very like, I didn't know myself. So I was just trying to like figure things out. I think people just didn't like that I was always happy and talked all the time. Because they're like, dude, like, shut up. You're like, you've been talking this whole time. I remember one time this kid yelled at me in class and the teacher joined in. Like, and I was like, oh, all right, maybe it is my fault. Maybe I should like chill out. But yeah, the principal at that school suggested to my mom that I should leave the school. They didn't kick me out. Wow. They were just kind of like, hey, you shouldn't be here. I remember at Mr. Pinnacle, when I was about to perform, they came backstage and said, hey, don't perform. Like, they don't want you to perform. And I said, no, I'm going to perform. I got to perform. And they were like, no, I don't think you should. So before I performed, I literally got on the mic and I said, this is for all of you guys that are booing me and throwing shoes at me. And then I performed and bro, they gave me like a great clap. And that was like my last memory of Pinnacle and I left.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool moment.
Wow. Okay. I'm curious. This desire in you to entertain, to put smiles on people's faces, seems, I don't get the sense that it's coming from some void or some thing, some validation thing. Like I grew up like dad's not in my life, mom's an alcoholic. I needed to prove them wrong. Right. Like, but when I'm hearing you talk about this, I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I have to get this stuff out. It seems, you could correct me, maybe there's a darker angle to it too, but it seems like for you, it was just coming from a very pure place. Like you feel like God created you to be a creative.
I guess the fundamentals that I was going off of was, life is not fair. We're in a broken world and you could sit there and mope about it, or you could just put a smile on your face and do the best you could do with God. All the ones that like disliked me eventually ended up liking me. Like we became friends. So I learned at a very young age, if people like mistreat you is because they're hurting. So dude, I learned that in the 4th grade. So by the time I went to high school, I wasn't upset with these kids. Like, I don't know, man. Like I just had such good faith in God that when teachers or students or anybody would tell me I'm a failure, I just listened to him. And he used to say stuff like, I have plans to prosper you and to protect you and to love you. So I just really believed in him and I put my head down and worked. And, my parents are my examples, like they treated their enemies the same way they would treat their families. So I think the reason God blessed me is because I didn't have a bitter heart. I really do. Because I look at a lot of more talented people than me and they're not being blessed. And I think it's because their heart is not in the great place.
That's good.
So I don't think I'm here because of my talent. I think I'm here because of his grace. The Eucharist situation happened.
Hey, we're going to go to the Patreon-only extended version of this conversation. Consider signing up for a free 7-day trial where you could see the entire conversation and get access to all of our future podcasts, be able to interact with our guests, and much more. Here's a little preview of what's available on Patreon. I'll see you over there.
When they take the Eucharist or when they take this and they truly believe that it is actually his body and his blood, my church is not happy with me. Did I make a mistake?
Andrew Tate, that was crazy. Yeah.
I try not to talk about Andrew Tate as much because...
And it's like, yeah, how did you guys not know that he was going to do X, Y, and Z, right? People feel like that's an endorsement of everything that guest has ever stood for or been a part of.
We're going to talk about Sam. I'll just be super, super honest and upfront.
Okay.
I read a comment once and it tore through my heart, bro. And it goes, oh no, George is not what was Cliff for me. Cliff was like when the prodigal son was walking home and the father was running, he embodied Cliff to run towards me. And he said, get him slippers, get him a robe. When I was like, no, dude, I don't deserve any of that.
Ruslan